will do a brief introduction of why you're all here, and then we'll look at some different companies and their reasons for sustainability reporting. And then Elin will take over and answer the question, do you really need a tool for sustainability reporting? After that, there's 7 different short pitches from tool suppliers, and you can see them on the right-hand side of this image. And from one of those, you can choose to take a deeper look at 2 o'clock. And I'll go more into detail on how you do that and once we get there. And then the last 5 minutes, I'll steal your time and talk a bit about what's next and encourage you to participate in the evaluation of this webinar. So just to introduce myself, I'm Martin Svensson. I work for BioFuel Region. We are a member-owned non-profit organization that has worked with sustainability related topics for 23 years now. Our main focus areas are sustainable transport, bioeconomy, and biogas. And what we try to do is driving the transition for a fossil-free society in mainly in the northern parts of Sweden. And we have a broad network and are really good at collaborating and turning ideas into actions. And we lead and participate in a lot of different projects, and one of those projects is the Sustainable SMEs project that is founded by the Interreg NPA, and together with some partners from Finland, Ireland, and Iceland, we aim to encourage and support SMEs towards a more sustainable business model. And one of these, the main focuses of the project is trying to improve the SMEs' capability to do sustainability reporting. And we do this in a number of ways. One of the ways is what you're a part of now. We try to raise awareness and try to work together with the SMEs to identify best practices. And we will, later on this year, start piloting different ways of doing sustainability reporting. And the main objective of this project is to sort of give you a guidebook and training materials that can be spread throughout Europe. So that's why you're here. And diving into why you should care about sustainability reporting, because we all know that, or some of you may know and some may not, but sustainability reporting was a sort of non-negotiable just a few years ago. And it is no longer, it is now voluntary for SMEs. And you can then ask yourself the question, why do you want to do this? And during the course of this project, we've interviewed a lot of different SMEs as to their reasons why. And I would like to present 3 of them to you. The first one is Norrmejerier, who is, they are from Sweden and in the food industry. They're very large on milk and cheese. And they have started reporting, not because they have to, but basically because they wanted to. They were preparing for regulation, and when the regulation changed, they saw the benefits of reporting, basically giving them credibility and a way of showing their ambitions in the areas of sustainability. And during this work, they've also discovered a lot of other benefits of reporting. The main one is identifying risks in their both business model and connected to sustainability. They can also see that the sustainability reporting helps them improve their customer relations. It's a lot easier for them to claim something when they can back it up. And when we talked to Normeria, they also highlighted employer branding as one of the main benefits of reporting. And the employees of the company feel very proud of the work they're doing, and they can use that use the reporting to show employees how they are progressing. But mainly the reporting has given them a structure for their sustainability, the sustainability work that they do internally. So all in all, you can see a lot of benefits and reasons, but they are mainly internal. And if we jump ahead to a Finnish company, which I will butcher the pronunciation of, so I'll apologize to all the Finnish people here, but Metsä Multia is a forestry industry company. They do a lot of wood harvesting and other related services. Their reason for reporting is basically influencing the industry. They want to push the forest industry to a more sustainable future. But they also see a lot of they can support their bigger customers by sustainability reporting. And during the work, they've discovered a lot of benefits, and I've only picked 4. But if you want to know even more, they're a good company to contact. But basically, they can see a lot of management support, like decision-making support that comes out of the sustainability reporting. They also use a lot of the data they collect and the findings that they have for marketing and public visibility. And another big thing is that they are dependent on having good relationship with both insurers and financiers, and their sustainability reporting helps that quite a bit. And to send this one home, they also use their sustainability reporting for benchmarking themselves and comparing themselves to other companies, which is a really helpful thing to use if you want to push your sustainability even further, because you can find other companies that have progressed longer than you have. You can pat yourself on the back if you're the one at the front. So that's a really big reason for sustainability reporting. The last one I want to introduce to you is Kyl- och Frysexpressen, which is also a Swedish company. And they are the only company on my list that I will present today that has to do sustainability reporting, because they get demands from other companies. They're a supplier for bigger companies that have regulatory demands for sustainability reporting, and they're dependent on their subcontractors to provide them with the data. So it's voluntary, but maybe not if they want to continue being a supplier for bigger companies. And they when we talked to them, they said that the benefits of this reporting is that it gives them a really big competitive advantage. They can compete for contracts. They can improve their relations with the companies that they supply, and become the number one choice. But they also see a great deal of benefits when it comes to transparency. They are mainly focused on transporting of groceries, and they do these transports for a lot of different companies, and they can often ask what kind of fuel or how much CO2 did my transport result in, and the sustainability reporting helps them with that transparency. So as you can see, there are a lot of different reasons for sustainability reporting, and I would say it could be very individual if you do it because you want to, because you use it as a business strategy, or maybe even if you have to. So let's look at the next topic. Do you really need tools for sustainability reporting? So take it away, Ellinor.
Yes, and I hope I have taken control over the PowerPoint. And I just want to begin with saying I really look forward to following along during the other parts of this event. It feels like it's going to be a little bit like a speed dating session with all the different actors that are going to talk. So I look forward to that. And I will present myself a little bit more in the end. I have a 10-minute block here, so I think it's really important that we spend the time on what at least I think is the most important, which is not to talk about myself. So do you see the next slide here? Do you need tools for sustainability reporting? I see some nodding. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. So we're going to discuss a couple of points that are good to think of, have a look at, discuss with your colleagues when deciding if you should invest time, money, resources in buying and implementing some kind of sustainability reporting tool, a software, something you buy to help you do the reporting process easier. So these are points that are good to think of before this. And the first point that we're going to discuss is, no, you don't need tools for sustainability reporting if you have time to understand the reporting standard, if you use the standard in depth. Because sometimes you're reporting after some kind of sustainability reporting standard, sometimes you don't. But I guess that many in here will probably be using the VSME standard. And if you have decided to follow that standard, you have to read the documents word by word, page by page, to truly understand what you should be doing. And if you do that, you have a wonderful knowledge base and you will do perfectly fine. But on the other hand, yes, you do need tools for sustainability reporting if you want the standard translated into concrete, actionable steps. So rather than in a PDF reading a paragraph about what different social KPIs that you should be reporting on, instead the system could maybe say, report on the number of FTEs in your organization, and then a box where you fill it in. So it kind of depends on what kind of knowledge level that you feel that you need to support your organization, what time you have, what budget you have. So none of these options are right. None of these options are wrong. It's rather depending on what kind of organization that you are working in. And I know that everybody in here knows their organization really good. So then if we move on to the second point, no, you don't need tools for sustainability reporting if you have the time to guide and explain tasks clearly for your colleagues, because you're probably not going to work with sustainability reporting all on your own. You're probably going to need help from your colleagues. And if you decide to do this completely on your own, you should not only be able to understand these PDF standards on your own, you should also be able to explain for your colleagues what they have to do, what they have on their agendas and to-do lists in order to finalize and create a sustainability report. And then on the other hand, you understand the structure now. I'm going back and forth. Yes, you do need tools for sustainability reporting if you want a ready-made structure your team can act on. And all sustainability reporting tools are different, and not all of them have functions for collaborating with your colleagues. The most cost-effective ones, I mean, the cheapest ones, usually don't have that, but many systems do have that. So if a system have some kind of colleagues collaboration functions, it's usually fairly easy for your colleagues to log in and then see a to-do list or receive an email or get some kind of notification. This is expected by you to do. So that could be an alternative way to delegate tasks and coordinate and project manage and so on. And we move further. Yes, you do need tools for sustainability reporting if you're used to coordinate work across teams and collect data from internal, external resources. And what do I mean with that? What I mean with that is that you will probably need to work with your colleagues to do the sustainability report and work across different functions and teams. So procurement and HR, and if you have a sustainability department and finance and so on and so on. And if you are used to work together, it will probably be easier to work together. But maybe you're not used to do that. It depends on what kind of organization you are, how you work. And you will also probably need to collect data from different systems in your organization, different Excel files, maybe from parties outside of your organization. If you're used to that, then you have a structure. But if you're not used to that, maybe it could be useful with some kind of sustainability reporting tool. So on the other hand, yes, you do need a sustainability reporting tool if you need support to manage this process. And then we move on. We are on the fourth point right now. So no, you do not need tools for sustainability reporting if you prefer external support, outsource to consultants to use your time effectively. And then we take the next one right away. Yes, you do need tools for sustainability reporting if you want to own your reporting in-house and have full control. And I mean, this is also, nothing is wrong, nothing is right. I mean, me myself is working part-time as a sustainability consultant, so I help many organizations with their sustainability reporting processes, and it's so fun. But that also means that I have some of the knowledge pieces and that the organizations don't need to have them since I have them. And that could be a good thing. It could also be a bad thing, but that also means that they can spend time on things that they are really good at. So it's all about understanding and deciding how you want to spend your 40 hours per week efficiently. And then let's move on to the last point. Yes, or no. Now I move away from my structure. I can't do that. No, you don't need tools for sustainability reporting if you are too uncertain about next year's reporting and scope. And what I mean with this, I mean, if you are maybe new to sustainability reporting, if you haven't done this before, then you're maybe not sure how the work will develop. Are you going to publish kind of the same sustainability reports for the next couple of 3 years? Will you change any major things? And connecting to the other side, yes, you do need tools for sustainability reporting if you already have a well-defined sustainability strategy. And what do I mean with this? I mean that if you are not sure what kind of support that you will need in 2-3 years' time, maybe it's not a good idea to invest in a sustainability reporting tool right now, because maybe the tool you invest in tomorrow will not be sufficient for what you will need in maybe 2 years. But on the other hand, if you do have a well-defined sustainability strategy, that you know what you will do sustainability-wise within the next couple of 3 years. I mean, I think 3 years is absolutely enough. We don't need to have a longer term perspective than that right now, at least. Then you kind of can predict what kind of support and resources you need. And I'm absolutely not saying that you need an ambitious sustainability strategy in order to have good arguments to implement a sustainability reporting tool. I'm just saying that you should know what you want to do so you can predict it. And then I'm going to do the not so much important thing last. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. But I just want to say that my name is Ellinor. I'm based in Gothenburg, so more the southern part of Sweden, and I work, like I said, part-time consultant, but also part-time with helping companies to find these different ESG systems. So systems for carbon calculations and sustainability reporting and supply chain diligence. So kind of being a matchmaker to see if you have this sustainability ambition, this budget, this demands from your customers and so on, maybe these different sustainability systems could be something for you to have a look at. So that's a little bit more about what I do. And if you want to reach out later, that's perfectly fine. I will also be here to listen to the rest of the event because I'm super curious. And I think that was everything that I had to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's a great transition, because now we get to listen to some short pitch sessions. Each supplier has 5 minutes, and I will be very strong and demand that the timetable is kept. So first up is Nelly. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Nelly Korteniemi and I come from Lapland University of Applied Science, and today I present you a sustainable reporting VSME tool, which is low effort, low cost, high value for small businesses. We have designed this tool in project during 2 years period, and at the same time and before that we followed the preparation of CSRD and VSME. And when the VSME was published December 24, we started piloting our tool January 25. We piloted this tool in our training sessions about sustainability reporting start, and we have had so far 6 groups and 96 participants in these training sessions. And what we learned from the companies participating in training, they have very limited resources. It's about small businesses. They don't have time, money or knowledge to start reporting by themselves. And they don't have appetite for extra complexity. So they need practical, low threshold solutions. What it meant to us is that we need to design a tool with low effort, low cost and high value for the small businesses. This tool of ours enables easy and practical implementation. What we did is a learning platform approach. It's an easy access and no charge for the users because of the finance we had. Structure is very simple. You see the example here below. There is only 4 sections. Start here, basic model, comprehensive model, and additional information, which practically is our high value tools. The experience is step-by-step progression, guided by a simple form-based tool and no prior experience needed. The reporting itself, we translated the standard language to the everyday business language. Sorry, now I'm in. Yeah, here. We translated this language to the everyday business language, and we offer very clear and practical examples. Furthermore, we combined the general description and detailed guidance under one topic, so the user don't have to go up and down in the long PDF files as they have to do in the standard. Here's an example for B2. The reporting itself is done in forms. We gave them predefined answer options in the drop-down menus. Here's the B1, and the report includes following parts. There is 2 options, only basic model or basic model and comprehensive model. We also give clear guidance what data format is needed, and this goes step by step, and this help lowers the barriers to start reporting. The users like this approach. And then the end, high value support. We designed 2 AI tools, one guiding the reporting process and another for the risk analysis. The reporting guides go step by step as does the learning platform, but of course the user can jump from section to section and ask additional help if needed. The risk analysis uses the C1 business model canvas as a basis, and it helps to identify sustainable risks and generates a ready-made risk table as a result. And here we can help companies where the resources are limited, especially in competence and expertise. This, in short, is our sustainable reporting VSME. Here's a QR code if you are interested to check it. How low can you go? Low effort, low cost, high value. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, Matthias.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm Matthias Mingazzini, and I'm working at Interreg, which is basically the technical advisor to the European Commission for sustainability standard setting. Today, I'm going to briefly explain to you this tool that we have developed, which is the VSME digital template. Before jumping to the tool, it's important to mention that what we have built is based on the VSME standard. We know now that the European Commission will adopt a delegated act based on VSME. And as such, it is important to mention that everything I will mention is based on the VSME standards, on the VSME recommendation. Then moving to the digital template itself, where everything started. Well, while drafting the VSME standard, we had a public consultation. Within the public consultation, SMEs expressed the need to have not only a simple standard, but also an actual tool that would help them fill in the disclosures. As such, we have drafted this digital template, which is an Excel file, very simple, user-friendly. And we have tried as much as possible to have auto calculations, consistency checks, as well as direct links to the specific paragraphs of the standard. On top of this digital template, we've also drafted what we call the XBRL taxonomy. In this case, the taxonomy acts as the invisible data point definition. And last but not least, we've also developed this digital template to XBRL converter, which enables basically, through a single click, the instant transformation from an Excel file to an inline XBRL file, meaning that you have access to a report which is digitally tagged. Why is this very useful? Well, because unlike the tagging for the ESRS, which required the manual tagging, so it was burdensome and time consuming, here the converter enables the instant transformation. So basically the undertaking by filling the Excel, you can simply access 3 different kinds of reports. One, which is the inline XBRL report, which is basically a PDF, but with the automatic digital tagging. And then 2 other types of reports, which are the machine readable formats, so JSON or the actual XBRL output, which can be directly integrated into the business counterparts databases. It is important to mention that all of this material is for free. The template is now available in 11 languages, including English. And we are constantly working with the national standard setters in different countries to add more translations and to optimize as much as possible the template itself. Up to now, we have more than 15,000 SMEs which have actually used it and converted. And one thing that I would like to mention is that what we would like to have with this, let's say, package of digital tools that we have developed is a starting point for the market. We don't want to compete with the market. We want just to provide a basic entry, and then everything as the code is the source code as well as the demo files are all on this GitHub page that we have. Basically, external providers can optimize what we have, as we know that, for example, the Excel has many limitations. So this is just a starting point, and I will stop here as my time is up. And in case you're interested, please don't hesitate to ask any questions or jump later into the specific breakout room. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll just skip ahead a few slides and leave space for Per.
Hello, everyone. My name is Per, and I'm the co-founder of Strimple, Sustainability Reporting Made Simple. As I said, I was the co-founder, and the idea come from, I had another company before, and we got some demands from one of our big customers. And
sorry, Per, do you want
to
take control over the presentation?
Yeah, I think I have. Can you see if I'm doing anything wrong?
I'll skip ahead for you.
Okay. Strange. I have a company, and we had a demand from one of our big customers. And for 2 years ago, there wasn't any good tools, and that's why Strimple come to life. Maybe you can skip now for me.
I have.
Yeah, perfect. Is sustainability reporting optional? Yeah, we have heard that right now that it isn't, but we can see the increase of demands from customers and banks, insurance companies, and certain kind of regulations. And SMEs are expected to act, but they lack some tools to do it properly. And what we can see, the big gap for SMEs is that many tools has been all too complex and too time consuming and built for large companies. So what we were aiming to do here was to build a system that we're aiming for the smaller SMEs, and so they could do this in a very qualitative way. And that leads to no reporting and effective process if you don't have a tool for it. Strimple is a VSME-based standard, and if you don't just look at the VSME demands, we also have some nice to have features, and we're making a report with a really good context, so you can present your company in a good way. And there's a step-by-step guidance, and you will see an overview what you are doing and how the report is going to be when you're filling out the forms on the other side. And it covers the whole of the ESG. It covers environment, social, and governance. And what it generates a complete report. And you get it in a PDF to make it in stamp, and also a smaller PDF so you can mail it. And the process is very, very simple. It's an input, it's guided steps, and you get a finished report. So what is it? It's fast, simple, and practical. And when we talked to our early users, they said that they needed 7 to 8 hours to complete the whole report in our system. And they didn't need any consultants. And they thought that it was a very structured and guided process and a very professional output. And what you can see on the right side is the front side of one of our reports. So what are we doing? We're doing from 0 to report in 1 day. That is what you can do with Strimple. And as I told you before, we are aiming for the VSME and up to 150 employees, and it's the basic report that you're getting with Strimple, not the comprehensive. And you buy it per report. There's no subscription. You can be as many co-workers in the report as you want. There's no limits there, and it's really easy to get started. And I hope you all got interested by it, and you will join our breakout session to see it live in just a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to the next. Chiara.
Hello, how are you doing?
We're doing good. We're keeping time.
Yeah, we're doing good. Well, I hope I don't ruin your timekeeping now. So, hi everybody. I'm talking to you from Galway in Ireland. My company is Whitespire. Before I take you through the tool, I want to tell you a little bit about our origin as a company, because I think that's quite important around understanding what we focus on. Our background here is in finance and finance automation. So we're very focused on how do we get the reporting into the decision makers' hands as quickly as possible with as little friction as possible. So a couple of years ago, as we were working with clients, they were starting to see CSRD requests coming down the line, and they needed to figure out, well, what is the process in order to get validated data that the finance team, as they report it in their financial statements, can rely on. And that was where we start working with our clients to figure that out. All of our work has been based on real client experience and real client data. So, well, problem a lot of the time, be it carbon reporting, whether they were looking at CSRD, although some of them were looking at CSRD and fell out of scope, as you well know, and then have moved on to the VSME standard as their focus. What we realized was, in order for them to get data that they could stand over, there was an awful lot of manual extraction. And they were doing that work, but there was no repeatable process that was identified. From our finance background, we're always talking about that audit traceability. So there was no audit trail in the numbers that they were getting. So in order to audit it, you had to go back and re-extract the data. And so there was duplicated effort. Their confidence was low. A lot of the people tasked with doing this reporting were sitting in finance teams. So they're really skilled at their role, but maybe sustainability reporting was not on their radar up until now. And particularly as you're putting data or numbers or KPIs out into the world, finance teams need to have the confidence to be able to stand over that. They need to be able to know that there is some sort of underlying criteria that they're reporting on. And then usually what would happen is they would outsource it, they would find a consultant and they would do it. but they would still have to do all the data collection internally, right? So they were paying twice. They were paying with their internal resources, and then they were paying for the consultants on the outside. And between carbon data or risk within the supply chain, what we were seeing is that they were being handled as side of desk projects, right? So there was insights in there, but the report was being done for the sake of getting a report out because they needed it rather than to help aid decision making. So it was treated as a compliance task only rather than understanding how your business was operating. And so the value in that was being lost. So we focused on trying to figure out a way to meet ESG at the cross section of business decision making and financial reporting. So we built ARC, and we built ARC with a number of our customers. And so what it does is it ingests documents from the business. So invoices, utility bills, financial reports, operational records, and it looks at the line level activity behind that. And it extracts that data and classifies it. So we always start off with a greenhouse gas report because it allows us to get, number one, the most basic KPIs, whether you're doing the VSME or whether you're doing CS or D. But it also helps us identify supply chain, right? And so once we understand the supply chain of a business, we can start to understand their risk. So ARC then grades all of this data with a confidence level, and it explains why it classifies things. So for example, you could have a document that you extract line item details. Only some of those line items are carbon relevant, some of them are not. And so it helps the team understand why some lines are being validated and some lines are not. And then it gives you an auditable data set. So again, you can talk to your team members, you can make comments, you can make changes, but there is an audit trail for everything that happens within the tool. And then that data can be used for multiple purposes. So you're not re-extracting, right? So once you get your data in there, you can look at it for things like risk. You can look at it for carbon intensity. You can look at it for a structured greenhouse gas output, or you can look at it for your VSME or CS or D, depending on what your objective is as a business. So it's quite modular in that way, but we always start from the same data. A couple of use cases that we can give you from this data. So we've got our scope 1, 2, and 3, which comes from the source documents. We align with the greenhouse gas protocol. It's all very auditable. What we do is we grade the input for confidence and relevance. So that gives us like a really sort of strong starting point that our clients, again, predominantly within the finance sectors of these medium to large global companies, would be able to put their name to, right? And they rely on it. They map directly into the SRS data points. So again, reusable across frameworks, so we don't have to re-extract, it's automated. We get an awful lot of supply chain intelligence. So by extracting this information, we're able to see, okay, well, what's the supplier geography? How is that product getting into the company and out of the company and into their customers? What are they spending on it? It enables a risk assessment then of the supply chain.
Sorry, Chiara, your 5 minutes is up. Do you want any final words?
No, I think that was my last one. We were getting to the point where cost and finance insights were available to them that weren't before. So that takes me to the end, but you're welcome to pop into my room at the end if anybody wants to discuss it further.
Thank you. Over to Finland again, and Vilma, you're welcome to take control.
Yes, thank you. It's been interesting to follow everyone's presentations so far. Let's see if I have the control and can change. Yes, I will start with introductions now in the beginning. So hello to everyone. My name is Vilma Saari. I'm from Jamk, Finland. And I work as an ecosystem lead in one of our technology ecosystems. Few words about Jamk first. My colleague Doris is on the line. She's our EU manager. So if you are curious to find more, just contact either of us. But we are a co-creation company, and these are our owners and customers. So we facilitate different manufacturing and technology ecosystems and projects across Europe and in Finland. And this SUSTOOL project was one great example of our EU project. So this project started in 2023, and it was an interesting ride with the legislation as well. So this is actually based on CSRD and ESRS, so it's a bit more extensive. But we have developed a free tool to use, which is available in English, Estonian, Finnish, Latvian, and Lithuanian. There you can see the project partners. So this was funded by Interreg Baltic Sea Region, and as a result of the project, we have now this tool in place that you can use in browser, and it acts as a very useful data bank for CSRD and ESRS, and as well as a practical assessment help. So you will receive this kind of digital consultant in the end of the tool, where you can download different kind of files as an output. So as I mentioned, the tool is based on CSRD and ESRS. So the core of it is actually double materiality assessment, where you look at different areas of sustainability from two perspectives. You assess how does the company impact on people and planet, and then as well on the financial side, how sustainability and climate impact on your company. As a result of the project, we developed a great deal of instructional videos. So rather than me explaining what it is about, I will now show you a brief video about it, and then I'm happy to tell you more and show the tool in use on the breakout room. So now I think this should work. Please say something if you can't hear. All right, oh yeah, I didn't have the QR code, but I will post it to the chat so you can access the tool. But that was about ESG tool. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more tools. Next one is Planmark.
Thanks for having us, Martin. By the way, I think your pronunciation of the Finnish company was spot on. Let's see if I can drive this. So hi everyone. I'm not Mikko. I'm Pietari, another co-founder of Planmark. We're an ESG data management and reporting platform that focuses really on efficiency and ease of use. We're a Finnish company and have been servicing customers across Europe close to 3 years now. Planmark is a multilingual platform that covers a wide range of critical functions regarding your ESG journey for organizations of different sizes. Initially, we started in streamlining really the data collection and reporting process. This is since kind of CSRD was rolled out. But since we have expanded our offering to have all kinds of key functionalities that modern organizations need, all seamlessly integrated. From reporting side, we have VSME and CSRD. And I think the kind of key thing that we have is that you can actually mix and match. Many organizations think that maybe VSME standard is a bit too narrow. So you can actually extend that with CSRD data points as well. You can also do kind of natural language insights. So you can ask questions about your ESG data. Very handy for if your organization is going, for instance, through a tender process, RFQ, or need to provide information to partners. Our platform also has value chain management. So requesting data or sharing data to your network is very streamlined and partly automated. And then we also have carbon accounting as part of the offering now. And one of the key things is obviously tracking your journey from sustainability point of view and setting targets. What's the Planmark difference? Our platform automates many of the manual steps and tasks that I'm happy to showcase in the demo if you want to join the breakout room. For instance, data entry can be automated through use of our trained AI if you have any kind of existing documents, as well as doing kind of pre-audit, which helps especially organizations that might not have the maturity of understanding complex standards. But most importantly, our platform is very comprehensive and modular. It fits for smaller kind of SMEs, but it's also used with large corporates. It's easy to start to use. Typically, onboarding takes not more than 30 minutes. It can be also tailored, so super modular. You can start small, and as your organization and ESG needs grow, we can always just add more modules. And that's one of the reasons why we kind of enjoy having such a wide range of different size and shape companies. By typically, here's some of the areas why, or key aspects why customers trust Planmark to be their cornerstone when it comes to ESG data management and reporting. And with these words, I will finish my brief presentation. I welcome everyone to join the breakout session to see more in-depth demonstration of the Planmark platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Marcus.
Yes, hello, last but not least, and I have taken control. My name is Marcus, and I'm from Position Green, and I'm going to present or demo our platform Morescope, one of our platform Morescopes later on. Let's see, there you go. So first of all, a little bit of background for those who haven't heard about Position Green before. We are one of the market leaders in the Nordics. We have been in the market since 2015 and have since then just been focusing on ESG data and how to collect it the easiest way possible. Last half year, we have also been active on the market with procuring or with acquisitions, and have been acquiring a company called Morescope. That platform is also born to adapt and backed by Brilliance to actually help you with the more effective data recording and in carbon accounting and VSME reporting. Let's see. What Morescope is that it's an AI-powered automated platform. We make integrations and towards your ERP system, finance system, to help you get all of your spend-based data into the platform as fast as possible, and from there have an AI classifying and categorizing that kind of data to give you as fast as possible and as qualitative as possible a GHG protocol. So it's very low touch and helps you also with how to create your sustainability strategies. So what the platform actually does for you as a customer, it gives you over 30% less time of data reporting. It cuts your time on reporting by 71%, reduction in the reporting admin by 50%, and of course, an improvement of your ESG data quality by 45%. And here are some of the actual key points on what the platform helps you with in the scope 1, 2, and 3. So it's gives you fast and accurate spend and activity-based data with precise scope 1, 2, 3 reporting. Keep your data flowing with seamless integrations and AI automation. And of course, designed to deliver detailed insights with full transparency for every calculation. Of course, since Position Green is the mother company in this case, we also have a lot of expansions possibility for you as a customer. You can start low or slow, and then when you're growing and your ambitions with sustainability is also growing, you can also get more help with that, since we also have a big part of our organization is also with consultancies or advisory, as we call it. So, in short, power your sustainability journey, automate, improve, and stay ahead. Thank you.
Wow, we're actually 1 minute ahead of schedule. Thank you to all the presenters.